There's something that is challenging for everybody.
Yeah.
And it may never ruin your life.
But it's there.
Maybe you get to the end of your life and you never have to worry about it. But it's like there's a second half of life for everybody, and you enter it through great pain. Yeah. Those moments on people's deathbeds where they're like, have to confess everything, or they have a realization, or they have a like, oh, wait, I understand.
Right.
Exactly. You know, they've entered the second half.
What a shame.
And they had it for 60 seconds.
60 seconds of clarity.
Hey,
it's more than some people get. Welcome to I Love You So Much. My name is Reed Fish. I'm here with my good friend Tyler Labine.
Hi, everybody.
We are two divorced dads getting better.
God willing, trying to.
We're doing our best. And we are happy, of course, today. Chris Sullivan is here. Chris, thank you.
Thank you for coming, Chris.
Thank you
also
very much.
hopefully getting better.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully you don't have to do the divorce thing. I see the wedding ring, so I don't want to.
Yes.
First marriage?
First marriage, but we're still getting better.
Okay, good.
We've been at it since 2010. We're still working on it.
Well, that's the key, getting better together. Well, I didn't do that.
Yeah. Well,
I refused to get better while I was married. Posthumously, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, so we start every episode with confessions.
Yes.
So we're gonna. So you want to go first today or me?
I would love to go first because I've been thinking about how to word this because I think it's
good. Well,
it's funny. It's not another lie.
Okay.
I've been confessing these like lifelong lies. Like I told everyone I was like the understudy for Gavroche and the Canadian cast of Les Mis for most of my life. That's not true.
That's not true.
No.
I'd say give me a song then. That's how I test that one.
Nobody ever did that. Yeah. Surprisingly, people weren't. They were neither. They were neither impressed or not impressed. It was like a non-starter.
Wow. Yeah. That's the confession.
Good for you, man.
Cool.
So my confession is I mentioned in a previous episode that my 8-year-old son was born with a myriad of allergies, like just horrible anaphylaxis with a whole bunch of things, and went to the hospital a number of times. And he started this kind of experimental program at the Southern California Allergy Institute when he was 2.5. So 6 years he's in this program. Yeah. And it was like, it's intense. It was like every week had to eat like 20 peanuts at night each night. You know, we worked up to that. Gummies that had like peanut essence, and it was like crushed up walnut, coconut flour, all mixed into a smoothie like 3 times a week. It was just like insane, like duck eggs separated from the white and the yolk. And we did this for years and years and years. Me and my ex navigating that. And we got a little slacky in the last year or so.
It makes sense.
And we went in one time and they did the blood work, and they were like, his blood work is like, clearly you haven't been doing the thing. And we were like, oh.
There's 0 walnuts in this blood.
He has no walnut blood. And we want to see a lot of
at
walnuts.
least 20% walnuts.
Yeah, it's got to be up there. I mean, they're doctors. They're not taking my shit. Yeah. So we were a little disappointed in ourselves, and we redoubled our efforts and still slacked a couple times. We have 2 separate households. Anyway, we went in another time, and every time we go in and it's not to their standards, we have to like pay a big fee, and we have to go back in because blood work is like $1,700 for the blood work. This is not covered because it's experimental.
It's not like a punishment.
No.
Like, this blood work is not up to par. You owe us an extra.
It certainly feels that way. There's definitely a lot of disapproving looks. Those hurt.
Yeah.
He graduated yesterday, actually, but the time we went in before, this is the time after we got slapped with the fine. We were going in, and I had been really strict, and my ex had kind of maybe slacked a little bit. It was unclear. And I said in the car, I turned around, I said, okay, Leaf, when we go in there, just let me answer the questions with the doctor, okay? Like, I know that and he was like, I feel like I might tell them that I didn't take all my, no, I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to say anything. You're not lying. I'm lying. You don't have to do anything. Just let me. I think I literally said that, but I was like, "You're not doing anything wrong." And he had this big like meltdown. He's like, "I'm going to tell them." I was like, "No, you're not, because I hate to do this to you, but if you tell them that, we're going to have to start the program again. Like we'll have to go back again," which is kind of true. I was like, and it's not. We don't want to waste anyone's time and mine and Mama's time. And I didn't want to bring the money into it, but I was like, and it costs a lot of money every time this happens. And let me do the talking. And so we go in, and that felt horrible. We go in to the doctor's office, and the doctor like is asking Leaf questions while she's got the armband on and doing hooking them up to the little electrodes. And she's like, so how's everything going with the maintenance foods? And he starts going, and I'm sitting behind the doctor going,
his poker face is terrible.
Don't say it. Like it's like this full. It's like Michael Scott in the office when he's like, "I swear to God." I was like shooting him daggers, like don't, and he's going, like I can barely contain the lie. And I'm looking at my son. He's going through anguish, and I'm sitting there like threatening with my eyes, like, don't you fucking say anything. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
That was certainly the intent.
Yeah.
And so he kept it together. Hands. Yeah. Until the doctor left the room. Then he was like, Daddy, I wanted this. I was like, I know you want. You're doing great. You're doing great. Oh, you're doing so great, but you don't have to say it again. We did it. We're done. And then the doctor comes in again and asks more questions. And he's like, again, going through like torture, trying to do it. And it went on for the whole day, basically. And then we left, and I just saw his little body like slump in the back seat. And he's like, I don't ever want to have to do that again. And I was like, lying about the stuff. And he's like, yeah, and we should never lie about that. And I'd have this big conversation with him about like, I didn't want to be that dad that's like, sometimes you have to lie. But I was like, look, it was my executive decision as a father in that moment that it was more important to tell them what they wanted to hear.
But sometimes you have to lie.
Sometimes you have to lie. And I was like, and he really struggled with it. But it was like, it was one of those parenting moments where I was like, this is gray at best. Like this is morally, ethically gray at best. I'm like kind of threatening him to like not tell the truth, which felt awful. So that's my confession.
So was it a false graduation?
No. So that's the other thing is like, I know that we've been doing enough. We've been doing more than enough with the smoothies and the nuts and the peanuts. He eats like 60 peanuts a night. I don't eat 60 peanuts a night. Like, I never eat 60 peanuts.
I was going to say,
like,
before bed, he has to like.
First of all, it sounds like he's trained to become like an X-Man.
Yeah.
Like he's joining the
X-Men.
X-Men.
His blood is pure.
Yeah. Like some kind of nut-related superpower.
Yeah.
But when he first started this program, so he would have reactions?
The thing was that he was hospitalized like 3 times, like with severe anaphylaxis to like sesame, salmon, peanuts, all tree nuts. And you find that out in the worst, most scary possible way, rushing your kid to the ER. And my ex was like really gung-ho about it and very proactive. And she was like, there's this really great allergy institute where they like, basically it's like microdosing children on their allergens, which makes all the sense in the world to me.
It's called Nuts for Nuts.
Nuts for Nuts.
And they have them in airports. Outside Chicago.
So it's a growing business. That business is nuts. There you go. So basically they just microdose them, and it started with you have to eat like one crushed up sesame seed with like a, and it's all the nuts and all the things all mashed into this little paste that we give them. And then it was like these little gummies with like a certain percentage of, sesame extract in it, and they would get more and more and more and more. So by the end, it's like I'm sitting them down before bed with a spoonful of Skippy, and like 60 peanuts, some like milk or oat milk or whatever, and he's got to get this in like every night. He's been doing this for years, and he hates it.
And you're like, now he's just throwing up at night.
Yeah, he's just like
because 60 peanut. I mean,
almost every night he's like,
that would give most people a reaction.
My mouth is a little itchy. I'm like, no shit.
I feel dehydrated.
Just slamming peanut butter before bed. And sugar. It's Skippy for him all the way. So it's like shugs. But anyway, so that's been the experience. And so to get to the end of that, like that close, and have him almost spill the beans again, I was willing to do and say almost anything to be like, we're not going back, man. And you don't want to.
I will take that freaking Skippy. That's
no more Skippy for you.
No more Skippy.
No more Peter Pan. No more Skippy.
So, but it's
all
Peter Pan.
Well, Justin's for you.
So he's all like cured.
So that's what I mean. So he is cured. He did his graduation. It was very sweet. They all lined the hall like he was going on Kimmel or something, and they all like sang to him.
Cool.
Is that Kimmel? They do that where they all line the halls and you walk down?
It's Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, is it on Jennifer Hudson's show?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, so it was that, and they all sang, and they
I watch all the daytime talk shows.
You've probably been on all of them too.
Yeah. No.
So it was really cute, and it's not a false graduation because the blood work showed that he's good, and he ate 60 peanuts again in front of them, and then got on a little treadmill and runs, and then they come back and they test his blood pressure and everything. And he passed, and he's done, and that's it.
That's great.
6 years.
He's gaining his powers.
Yeah.
Watch him run on these 60 peanuts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens to this kid now.
My confession is not so nutty.
Okay. You were just waiting to say that.
Being in the all things comedy studio, it just comes out of me. My schedule with my kid, I have a 10-year-old daughter, and is week on, week off. So we typically switch on Fridays. So I'll have her for a week, and then I have a week totally to myself. Coming up this week, my ex is doing some traveling, or next weekend is going to have to do some traveling, and it's just the way it's shaking out. The schedule is probably going to be more like 10 to 11 straight days with me. And I was like, oh man, I was like, my first reaction was I was bumming. And then I'm like, what are you thinking? Like every day you get with your kid is like a gift. and I'm like wanting to return the gift. And I think like it's just, and I'm confessing it because I just want to remind myself that, you know, like, okay, I did want to watch Monday Night Football in peace next Monday, but who cares?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and that's the thing. You're not going to get to your deathbed and be like, oh, I wish I had been able to watch that game, you know, not on tape delay.
Or spent more time not with my kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just a reminder for myself to just remember to take the joy in it. But at the same time, I think, you know, it is so nice to have some time to yourself when you're a parent that it actually makes me a better parent. So I think the time I have away is actually beneficial. But, you know, it's like when you do a week on, week off, it's actually kind of a long time to be away from your kid.
It is, man. You know? We did 2, 2, and 3 in the beginning, right? So it was like, but that's really relatable too, man. Just so you know, like because we do 1 week on, 1 week off, and the summers is 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. When you get that 2 week chunk, initially you're like, I'm going to go on a vacation, I'm going to do it. And if it gets kind of messed up or whatever, you kind of get protective over those days because you plan a lot of stuff during those days, and then you feel really guilty when you're like,
and you know, and it's intense. But I think, you know, you see just all parents have that, even just like parents who are still together and they have that first trip without the kids and they're like, we're gonna party. You know, it's like you're so happy to be away from them, but of course you love them more than anything. And you know, it's just that's the dilemma of being a parent, right? It's like you kind of lose yourself, but then you know it's for the greatest reason. But so that's my confession.
I appreciate the confession, and I think it's hyper relatable.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Oh geez, here we go. I was listening to the pod on the way in, getting warmed up.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Oh, you're in it.
Wow.
So I feel like I'm just coming back out into the world.
Right.
Very quick response to your email about do pod.
Yeah.
Where?
Anything with adults?
Burbank? Yeah. I live in Marina Del Rey.
There you go.
I might as well fly to New York. But I'm happy to do it.
Right. Lucky us.
Time out of the house. Time in the car. Time to myself, like you were saying. And I have a real selfishness problem and a real self-pity problem and a lack of patience. Those are the 3 things that I'm currently working on. And my confession is that my patience is not getting better. My fuse is getting shorter and shorter, especially with this 5-year-old who is getting smarter and smarter and who knows how to like push my buttons. And I feel pretty bad about it. He's and I don't know. I've been. One of you is a friend of Bill's?
Yeah, me. Yeah.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think I've just gotten away.
Even I know that.
Well, I heard you talking about it on the pod. And
I'm like, fuck Bill.
It's very important. You need that. You need that for balance.
It is about balance. It's about both. That's what Bill would say. And I've just gotten away from maybe the regimented program that I started out with, 9 years ago.
Right.
So that's my confession.
I feel you, man, big time. And I can feel it coming from a mile away too. When my program is slipping, when I'm becoming a little bit of a dry drunk, when I'm like getting irritated at other drivers for just driving, my kids are just like kidding and I'm like, "Whoa." I know what you mean. It's not just impatience. It's like this rash, irrational impatience. Where it's like, oh, well, that feels
irrational impatience. And then like one of those somebody said, if you wake up in the morning and you run into an asshole, that guy's an asshole. If you wake up in the morning and everyone's an asshole,
you're an asshole.
That's good. That's good.
I like that.
And that's where I've been. Especially on the roads. I'm just like, what is up with everybody? Everybody's in such a shit mood. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's you, bud.
I had another middle finger incident yesterday. This dude just like, I was pulling into Tommy's.
With your middle finger or somebody else's?
No, somebody else's, It quickly became about my middle finger as well.
Mine. They're flying up.
Mine joined the party pretty quick. But this dude did like a U-turn right in front of me, coming like 35 miles an hour. And then I had to come to a complete stop. And then he went, gave me the finger, and I fucking lost him, man. I was like, fuck you, man, fuck you. Like really ragey. And then I drove away and I was like, whoa!
Did you have a kid? Did you have any kids in the car?
No.
Okay, all right. Okay,
but it was a lot.
A whole family. Two friends.
They weren't mine. They were just taking the kids to Six Flags.
Do you get road ragey when you have your kids in the car?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
But no.
Controlled rage.
Yeah, controlled rage. The hidden finger.
Oh, yeah.
Not up here.
Dude, just finger. Just down here.
Just so that you can see it, just out the side window. Try not to bring any innocent bystanders into the equation. But yeah, the other day, these electric motorcycles.
Yeah, the e-bikes.
14-years have
doing wheelies all over Ohio.
We have e-bike gangs,
E-bike gang, and I'm not talking about one or kid. I'm talking about feral groups.
Yeah, we both live in Ohio. They're everywhere.
Prepubescent monsters.
And they do wheelies on Main Street.
Yeah, welcome to old guy talk. Let me tell you something about 14-year-old boys who have a vehicle that can take them from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to fight a 14-year-old in a park the other day. Yeah. This kid was actively kicking up dirt on this mother and son playing catch on a baseball diamond. And then when this mom finally was like, "What are you doing?" I don't want to get too. He invited her to fillet him as he rode off and called her the bitch and then rode by and I'm looking at him and he sees me looking at him and he calls me and invites him to also perform a sex act on him and I'm like, this is am I gonna fight a 14-year-old today? In a park?
I wish you had.
But see, then what happens? Father of two arrested.
Yeah. But then it's everyone's very divided.
All you have to say
that kid needed that.
And he's an e-bike kid. Everyone understands.
And it's like a pass. But there's 18-month-olds running around this park, and he's tearing around, and I'm like, okay, we've done it. We've reached the point where you are a 45-year-old man standing with his arms folded in a park.
But
I think with the e-bikes, I'm
rendered impotent. You can't do anything, and that feels awful too.
I'm going to defend ourselves on this though, because I think at the heart of it is actually with the e-bikes is I'm just concerned for these kids. It's not that I think they're punks, but I'm literally which of these is going to be the first one to get killed?
Yeah. And I've had two near head-on collisions where they lose control of a wheelie, fall into the lane that I'm in. And I'm like, dude, that would have been my fault.
Yes.
You could have perished.
Yeah.
My whole life would be ruined.
Here's my real confession. I turned to my wife who's watching the whole thing too. And I go, can I say something really terrible to you? And she goes, okay. My wife I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I need to say the thing to you that I want to say. So I don't say it.
Yeah.
And I just turn to her. I'm like, oh, that kid dies.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the moment. You feel that.
I'm sure this kid.
Well, he will eventually.
I mean, we all will eventually. I mean, there's a confession. I mean, golly, I wish you well.
Now, saying that right now, though, did that still live in the same place?
No, it feels terrible.
Okay, yeah, good.
Feels terrible.
If it still felt charged to you, I'd be like,
but this is the thing about my spiritual practice, right? Is that the things that I used to use to intervene with that, whether it was alcohol, whatever, drugs, blah, blah, blah. Now that those are removed, what I realize is what I'm actually addicted to is anger.
Oh, yeah.
Or anxiety. Because those things give me that.
You guys are
I've said this on the show. Anger and anxiety are fucking, even if anxiety is awful.
Yeah.
Bang,
at least I'm getting that, it was so funny. When I was in college, my minor, it sounds like a joke. I was a theater major with a minor in alcohol and drug studies. Oh. That was the name of the program. Wow. And it was a certificate program at my university to become a dependency counselor.
Whilst in the theater program.
In the theater program. And the big problem at the end, you had to do a 6-month internship at a facility or somewhere. And I went around trying to find some place. And the ironic part was no place would let me be an intern because I was not an addict myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a shame. We'll
better work on that.
Yeah. Oh, so I spent 10 years working on that. The thing that I learned in that program that stuck with me forever, that kind of blows my mind, is that all of these drugs that we use to get high are already in our brains. Dopamine, serotonin, adrenaline. Yeah. They all have little rooms where they live.
Endorphins, right?
Endorphins. And all, let's say, cocaine does is a powder that goes to that room and just kicks the door off the hinges, the dopamine room. For a while.
It's a shortcut.
Yeah. And so all of these chemical reactions are happening internally. And if I stop using or drinking or whatever it is, I can still find, like you were saying, these ways to jack myself up, whether it's coffee or sugar or rage or my biggest one is self-pity.
Well, okay. So you said initially in your list of things that are cropping up for you, you have a problem with self-pity,
Yeah.
victimizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I would say, I didn't know this. That's my biggest crutch. Like going to that place of like, poor me. And I hate it when other people do that. Like I abhor other people who are like going into victim mode, like my parent, anybody who I ever see doing that. I'm like, that's horseshit.
Yeah.
But I find that that's like maybe my biggest manipulation tool.
Oh yeah, me too.
And it has gotten me things that I want. It has like performed well for me, and it doesn't anymore. And I'm having a hard time shaking it.
Growing up, it got me compassion and care.
Yeah.
And it got sympathy.
Yeah. Which feels
and
good.
and even to the point of like not just like woe is me stuff, but like being injured and whether like one time I hurt my neck and I certainly hurt myself, but then as soon as I saw all of the attention and the love and the care and the oh my God and I was like, oh yeah, it's very really hurts.
Yeah.
This really hurts.
Yeah.
And I didn't identify it myself until obviously I started getting clear-headed, but yeah, it's a real danger.
My big thing was, and I didn't know this at all. Finally, my ex was like, and it felt really painful at the time. She was like, if it's not one thing, it's another thing with you. Like if you're ailing or you have a physical symptom of something, your knee hurts, your leg. And I was like, because I'm in pain, man, or I'm sick. What do you want? And I realized that like that was a default for me. Like even if it was a little bit of something, you can really create any symptom, any pain you want. I actually had a doctor at one point who was like, look, people talk about psychosomatic and they don't know what they're talking about. That's still real pain.
Right.
Your brain can cause any pain it wants. And it's real. You experience it like real pain. He's like, so you're not lying, but you're definitely creating the problem with your mind. Yeah. And for me, it was an excuse not to be intimate with my ex-wife. It was an excuse to like go away and fucking punish myself with alcohol and then be like, oh, I'm too hungover to do the thing. I mean, hangovers are a super addiction for me too. So all that stuff, just, the manipulation behind being ill.
Yeah.
And that was from the self-pity and like, well, you have to treat me nicely because I'm sick.
Yeah.
And I can't be held responsible for that. I'm ill,
That's right. Well, you have this negative, this internal negative voice that's always chirping away, right? Or hopefully not all the time, but used to be a lot. And that was why whenever anyone from the outside was critical, it hurt so much because it was agreeing with the voice I already had in my head. So like as soon as another person chimed in, even if it was real low-grade criticism, now I'm being teamed up on.
Right. And your brain's
you guys are just...
And then that voice is like, I told you.
See?
Yeah.
And my behavior turned to, well, what you should do is make your outer self resemble your inner self to preempt any criticism.
Right.
Like, no, I already know.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Lean into it, man. Get there before they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my whole persona, man. That was my whole career. Was like, I'm the know-it-all idiot.
Yeah.
Who is fat and I love it. And I'm funny and I have a better sense of humor about it than you do. And like, anyway. You
guys, I mean, it's funny, the stuff that Chris is saying. I'm like, oh, that's Tyler. Oh, that's Tyler. That's Tyler. I mean, we've had so many episodes now, and it's like all that stuff is the stuff we've been talking about.
Yeah, we've definitely covered
this
some of
has
that
really
stuff,
been basically your therapy. So it's
and I have a lot of therapy going on as well.
I know.
It's funny though. Every alcoholic, I mean, at the end of the day, any addict, kind of, we all have the same basic problem.
You know what struck me when you were talking about the self-pity and kind of what you're talking? Oh, my foot hurts, whatever. But are you also just a complainer?
Yeah,
I mean, even if it's not about yourself, are you complaining about everything else? I haven't necessarily noticed that.
It has been noted that I can be a little cynical and complaining. I do tend to feel like people are failing me often. I'm like, oh, this society, this, not a terrible problem for me. But I've made a real effort to not complain. Certainly when I was in my alcoholism, I was definitely much more of a complainer. Because everything was hard for me. It was making everything hard for me.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are complainers. I mean, I feel like I can't. Do I complain?
I feel like I was just thinking about that. I think you're a really optimistic, positive guy. Oh. I mean, my experience with you has been nothing but like, we can do this. Let's go with real.
Well, I'm trying to pump you up because you're always complaining.
With real trepidation and stuff. But like,
I have some notes though.
I
have notes
for him, not me. I can't. No, I don't need any. I'm perfect. I already told you everything.
Yeah.
No, but even getting here today was like a real program moment. You know what I mean? Like, you and I went back and forth. 8-9 times to figure out. My favorite was
you're like, are you ready for this?
Hey, get this.
I want to go back to the first time.
Remember that time again? I said that won't work? Can I have that now? Sorry. I mean, long story short, I won't get it. But like, I didn't leave enough gaps room for error in today's schedule. And now
you assumed.
Yeah. And now I'm running 40 minutes late.
Yeah.
And I am never late.
Yeah.
And so all this stuff is coming. I'm literally sitting at a charity gala.
Yeah.
You know,
Right
getting ready
before this,
getting ready to present somebody with an award.
Can we talk about that?
And sure. And my brain is like, these fucking charity people told me I'd be out of here at 1:45 latest.
Yeah.
It is.
I have a heart out.
2:02.
Charity people, man.
Charity people, am I right? Give them an inch.
Yeah, right.
And recognizing those feelings, getting on an email and just being honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be late.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
It's going to be more than that.
And not like, hey, this thing happened. I was out of my control. I can't do. You
Yeah.
just kind of said, hey, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be late.
and now I got this. Now I got to sit on the 101 for 30 minutes, which is the worst place to sit when you're late.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you could do about the 101.
Well, once you're late too. It doesn't actually matter where you are.
And so-
that's a practice letting go of that.
And
right?
so it was nice to sit and listen. I listened to your episode with Judy Greer, who's like
We love
one
Judy.
of my long running talent crushes.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Everybody.
decades.
Everybody in this room. Yeah.
And to hear you bring up program, I was like, oh, okay.
Now it's another reason.
There's there's an understanding. I was like, I was like, not only is this whole situation maybe bringing up something for the people who are waiting for me, but they're now working their own feelings around this person being late. And how do you show up and just be remorseful without taking up too much time,
Right.
And
or victimy or
self-pity, or over-explaining, and just come up with energy and try to be present.
I think you're doing it.
Well, I mean,
You seem to be doing it.
It worked out, hopefully, but
I would have assumed you were late for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's-
The way you
that's-
handled this,
Yeah.
right? Like a pro. Yeah, it's great.
Well, that's my experience of you. Is you're always late.
literally 100% of the time. This
Bat a
guy,
thousand, man.
for the things that we've been to, he's been late to. But yeah, and that's, it's one of those things that's out of my control.
Yeah.
Right.
Reed just said that too. That idea, and I've noticed this a lot in my life lately, and I think this is growth. Was stressing over that. It's already happened, right? You're late, or if you're at the airport and shit's going wrong. This is where it usually boils down for me. Is like things that are out of my control with cancellations and delays and things you can't, on the other side of your destination that are now fucked because of the delay. And then you just have to go, I'm going to go sit in the lounge and eat some cake. Yeah. And I'm going to relax. I'm going to put my headphones on. I couldn't do that in my life. I would reach out, and that's the other thing. I would dump that on other people, right, via text, which is the worst way to dump shit. Flail at employees at the airport, get all uppity and like victimy and pity. Now it's just this real act of like, well, life goes on, and I will be on the other side of this, and it'll pass, and that's it.
And people will either understand or they won't.
Yeah.
You can make your amends as best as possible, and they will either understand or they won't.
Go too, man.
And that's for them.
Yeah, some guy came up to me at a train station in England like 30 years ago, and I was stressing because oh my God, I just missed the train. It's like, there's always another train.
But do it in the accent. Do it in the accent.
I'm not an actor. I don't do accents.
Yeah. Listen here, bruv.
There's always another train. That was terrible. Always another train.
Another fucking train.
There you go. Okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah. And so, but I always remember that, and it does.
I think for everything.
Yeah, and it does try to, and I think it has helped me keep calm. I mean, I've traveled enough where it's like I've had a lot of delays, and it's just like, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
But I still get angry sitting in traffic, or I just get, I don't know, angry is the wrong. I don't think I carry as much anger as like you guys do, but I do get.
Okay.
Always with the comparisons. I'm not as mad as you are, Tyler.
But I do get frustrated. I do get frustrated.
I think a lot of the tools around that came from meditation, just like stuff. And my practice is fucked right now. So it's clearly, if I got back into meditation, I think I would probably have an easier time with my levels of frustration in the world. But meditating is hard. I don't want to do it.
There's a pleasant aroma in the studio because actually, Tyler, you were just giving a demo to us on actually using some beard products that you use from the Bearded Brotherhood. And I still smell it. It still smells good in here.
It's a pleasant lingering.
And not in an overwhelming way.
No.
This is all good stuff. And so, because you're known for having not only a good looking beard, but a good smelling beard and a soft feeling beard. I mean, all these things are true.
They're inextricable.
And you're using products from the Bearded Brotherhood. Check out their website. It's thebeardedbrotherhood.co.
Yeah.
And look, if you want to make a purchase, which I actually highly recommend, you can use the code ILYSM15 and you're going to get 15% off your purchase. And you can use that code again,
over and over,
and again and again. And they have other products. They have cologne. I've been using the cologne a little bit, so it's we're a couple users.
We're a couple users. We're a couple users.
Yeah. And so follow them. Also, it's at the Bearded Brotherhood on Instagram, and the beardedbrotherhood.co, code ILYSM15. Please go check it out. Hey, are you a love bug? Are you loving this show? Because if you are, you might want to check out our Patreon. And we have I think we kind of named them love bugs now.
We do. I think love bugs stuck.
Yeah, so that's what I call them now internally. Yeah, and it's like, it's great. So we're having a good time in Patreon. We're interacting with people. People can see ad-free episodes of the show. You got my playlist going. We got behind the scenes vlogs.
Road confessions. Confessions anywhere. On the spot confessions, elevator confessions, wherever I am. Bathroom confessions.
Exactly. And I think we just lined up that Q&A, and I think that's great. You know what? The ad-free episodes. So if you don't like ads like this one, then you don't want to listen to this kind of ad.
If you hate this.
And be like our bud, Jonathan Newman. Let's be honest. He's our first, $100 level sponsor. So he's going to get a shout out on every episode. Yeah. If you want to be like that, if you want to, show your support for us, we're so appreciative. We really couldn't do this honestly without our patrons.
Not at all.
So we want to give back to you all because you are giving us so much. And so we appreciate it. It's patreon.com. ILYSM pod. ILYSM pod. I know, it's on the screen.
It is hard to say. We love you so much.
Yeah, I'm about to start The Artist's Way for the fourth time.
Yeah. That's a book that I've told people I've read before. No, I have that book. I haven't read it though.
I haven't. Oh, you have read it?
Yeah, I haven't read it. No.
Okay, no.
Well, it's a book that most people make it to about week 4. If they try to do it on their own.
Okay.
And week 4 is emotionally challenging. And that's where most people
rubber hits the road.
That's good.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
But it's written by this woman, Julia Cameron, who's a famous AA.
Yeah.
And so it's a 12-week process. And each week mirrors a step in the program. But it's an incredible process to do in a group. It says you should do it in a group. It's hard to get a group together.
Right.
But every time I've done it, it has revealed, incredible creative growth.
This is the 4th time you've gone through the book? Wow, man.
Yeah. 4th time since 2008.
Okay. A little time in between the dips, but
There's a process called morning pages in the book where you first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, before you do anything else, you sit down and you just free form write in this journal for 3 pages, just stream of consciousness, whatever it is. And it's a form of meditation. It's a form of getting the ick out. Like most of my pages are just complaining.
And the shit you wake up with, right?
This, that, and the other thing. And as soon as you see it written on paper, you just feel so embarrassed.
Right. Yeah. Burn that shit. Eat it. Yeah.
Hope nobody ever reads this.
I've heard of morning pages for sure.
And it's an active meditation. It's an active way to connect with your thoughts because you can see them. And as soon as you see them, they become these little things, whether that's good or bad, right? Whether it's something that's negative and you see it and you're like, oh, that's nothing to worry about, or something positive that feels out of reach,
right?
And then you see it written down and you're like, well, it's that simple.
It's as simple as
things
that feel huge, just
they all become right-sized.
Right. Oh yeah, another program term. Yeah. Do you meditate? Like other than the morning pages, do you practice any kind of meditation?
No, I don't.
Did you ever?
I did.
Yeah.
I used to have like a twice a day routine, morning
pre-kids
and night.
maybe?
Yeah, pre-kids for sure.
Yeah.
There was teachers along the way who were like, I don't want to. It's not about getting attached to any of these processes, right? It's about being free. Right. I don't want to be someone who meditates. I want to be free. I don't want to be someone who works a program. I want to be free.
Right.
And so as quickly as I am drawn to something, if I'm drawn away from it, then I have to see what that's about.
Okay.
Like let it go for a bit. All right. Okay, things have changed and I can come back to it. I can reshape it. I can reform it. Somebody asked one of these spiritual teachers who I read a lot of, Richard Rohr, asked him about his prayer practice, and he said, I don't really pray anymore. I've managed to set up my life as a living prayer. And I'm like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
If I can integrate my meditative habits into my daily life, whatever, step 11 or step 10, and really be analyzing my behavior or my words or my actions in real time, then perhaps I don't need to spend 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. Not that it wouldn't be helpful, but I just now don't have the bandwidth to do that.
Yeah.
So what's a good option?
Yeah.
And luckily, those time periods where I can quote unquote recover from a misstep or recover from saying the wrong thing or being late or whatever the thing is, the time between that thing happening and me recovering from it is gotten shorter and shorter. And shorter.
Yeah. I have a friend who at one point when we would meditate in these groups during COVID on Zoom. He always meditated with his eyes open and he just looked kind of like he wasn't meditating. And he was like, no, anybody can meditate with your eyes closed. Yeah. Like I want to be able to have a meditative moment anytime I'm anywhere. Yeah. It's like if I'm driving a car, I'm not going to shut my eyes for 10 minutes while I'm trying to get rid of this road rage. It's like I need to be able to do it while I'm engaged, while people are talking to me. And I was like, well, that's just being a level-headed human being. And he was like, he's like, I just, as many times as I need to, I just recenter all day, but I don't set aside 40 minutes a day when I can close my eyes and be in a comfortable, cool environment, put on some music and transcend. He's like, I'm going to do it actively. That always appealed to me. And that's sort of what I started to try to do was this active recentering whilst being stimulated.
But how do you do that if you're driving?
Well, okay, that's a good question. It's
because I'm not a meditator, if you couldn't tell.
I did practice meditation for quite a few years, where it was that.
But I'm not. I'm saying,
yeah, it's hard to explain.
You might be in your way. I mean, if you find yourself present in more moments than not.
I don't know, maybe.
The read eye roll. Present. What's that?
I try to be present, but I'm not. I don't know.
Well, what do you do if you're in the middle of a bit of a road ragey incident, or you want to come back to your center quickly? You must have some mechanism you developed.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of myself like getting, like legit, like angry. And it's like, I guess, maybe I'll just be like, maybe blurt out a couple expletives and then try to move on. I got to take stock. I think next time I find myself getting really worked up of what I do to calm down.
You should track it, man. See what happens for you.
I mean, I guess it's breathing. I mean, but I don't know, but I don't feel like I get in like a panic mode. But I do know that I can get like kind of agitated and stuff.
Do you remember in I Heart Huckabees? You know how like Mark Wahlberg and Jason Schwartzman they have a giant balloon and they're smacking themselves in the face so they can feel nothing? Yeah. Like you can't always just walk around punching yourself in the face to feel nothing, right? Like you can't clear your mind with a physical. Right. Yeah.
There are those activities that we have. Athletes talk about it a lot, about entering that flow state. Yeah, sure. Writers or, whatever the thing is where you enter into a natural flow of living that seems not of your control.
I had that for 10 minutes writing once. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. You were in the flow. You felt
to say you don't meditate.
Well, you get in it. And it's that moment where all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, that 20 minutes just went by. Yeah. And I was just writing. And, and it's like, and you're just not conscious of time in the same way.
I had never found that in anything other than acting from time to time. I'm sure you can relate where you're like, we shot that scene. Like I don't totally remember what happened. I was in the state. And the gym. The gym is the only place where I realized I can totally affect change in the moment. Like right then and there, I'm going to the gym, working out, and I can lose myself in it. That's the easiest thing I'll have to do today probably is go fucking redline my system.
What about making music?
Well, making music I do. Okay, making music. I should say creative processes. The process of being creative is easy for me to lose myself in, but you can't always walk around creating music or acting, right?
But getting lost in something, I guess, isn't necessarily meditative, or is it? Because I feel like like when is the other times that you get lost in things? It's conversations, right? And I know in this room, sometimes you're like, wait a sec, that was an hour and 10 minutes? What the hell? No way. Yeah. And other times you're like, oh,
watching the clock.
Watching the clock. You're like, trying to stretch.
But that's all meditation is not allowing, is being with yourself and not allowing your thought or not allowing any internal moment to take you anywhere but right here. Right. So
being present is meditating in a way.
I mean, if you are sitting and you are thinking of nothing other than than playing this game of chess or painting this painting or making this meal. If you're not stir frying your peppers and thinking about some shit your mom said to you, but you're only thinking about doing this, that's the whole goal of meditation anyways.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if you're sitting quietly with your eyes closed, to your point, or if you are engaged in some kind of activity that allows you to be present, you know.
I think you made a good distinction there, though. Like flow state doesn't necessarily mean just being lost in time and space.
Yeah.
I think that it implies a certain level of efficiency, creativity, like productivity, you know, but that's meditative too. You know, that's that letting go of the external, stressors and being like, I'm doing this thing. I don't know what that, but I'm doing this box right now.
And you know,
I have some things in there you might want to take.
As we're talking it through, it kind of does feel like that, you know, reflecting on when we are in here and have a really good episode, and it's just like you just leave there and I feel calmer and I think more at peace and just like more myself in a way.
Say more about feeling more like yourself.
Yeah, that's
at the end of that conversation.
It is interesting because I don't really know what myself feels like a lot. You know, I've really in the last year since I moved out and I got my own apartment, it's like of trying to reconnect with who I am because you just get lost in being a bad husband and a good dad and a business owner and all the stuff. There was no me left. It felt like at a certain point, and then now in the last year, really trying to get back to who I am. But for me, and if you've listened to a lot of the episodes, I claim to be like a surface guy. So a lot of those things are like kind of surfacey, like I'm going to do a crossword puzzle. Right. And it's not a lot of like deep diving into what is Reed's soul like, but maybe that's really what the journey of this podcast is for me, is like really trying to figure out who I am.
Or it's the beginning of like pulling the yarn or the thread.
Yeah. And so I think when I feel more like myself, if I leave here, it's probably because I felt like I was seen and heard. And I feel like I saw and heard other people. Yeah. Like in a real authentic way. Yeah. Like, so I guess my point is like, why we're doing this is to feel like ourselves more. Yeah. And I'm curious, maybe after we've done 100 episodes, if I'll finally figure out who I am.
It feels like a moving target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a goal that might be attainable. Right. So it just depends on how attached you are to that being the goal. But I do think it's interesting that you have said, because I feel the same way, that I feel the most like myself when I am in authentic relationship to others. Right, in one form or another. That's why acting is so appealing to me. Right. Yeah. Ironically, right?
Because you're not being yourself.
The moment has been provided, but the interaction is very hopefully authentic.
Even though it is faux emotion or faux scenario or whatever the thing is,
authentic.
There's still an interaction going on. And it's also interesting. It's an interesting relationship to your friend who meditates with his eyes open.
Yeah.
Because we only have any idea ever of who we are based on our relationship to everything around us. Yeah. I know that I feel because when I bang into something, it hurts, or you know what I mean? Like literally, not just people, but our surroundings. I know I am safe because of these walls and this roof and so, but who I am, right, is always changing.
Yeah.
And based on like who I am now versus 5 years ago before I had 2 kids, relating to these 2 children, they are now redefining who I am, right? Constantly. Yeah, I don't know if it's never a reachable thing, right? And that's why, like meditation is there's no graduating. There was one meditation I did early on in my recovery where someone was like, breathe in and breathe out, and that's it. And if you can do that 10 times without thinking of anything else, then that will be an accomplishment. And if you think of something else other than your breath, then start over. Right. And you never make it past 3.
Yeah.
Nobody makes it past 3.
Well, your brain is just doing what a brain does.
Right.
You can't stop braining.
Right. And the exercise is not to frustrate or to show you that the goal is unreachable, but to show you that this is the process, right?
Yeah.
This is to sit no matter how long you sit or you allow your mind to run off into fairy tale land or resentments or anger or worry or anxiety or the past or the future or whatever it is. The whole process is, okay, come back to the breath, come back to the breath, come back to the breath. It's so funny. Like when I first, I didn't know what was happening in my early meetings, but I call it the return breath, and you sit in these big circles, right? And people are bearing their souls and sharing all these things, and at first I heard it, and it sounded like a bunch of pissed off people, but it was guys going.
Well, I just did it right now.
Taking a big in-breath and then a big exhale. And it was something that I used to do when I was still drinking a lot. And it was pointed out to me several times. I'd be in a rehearsal for a play or something, and I'd be in the corner, I'd go, and a director would go,
"You all right?
Am I bothering you?"
Right.
Thinking that I was annoyed or angry, and I would have no idea what they were talking about. And what was happening was I was so wrapped up in my thoughts, in my worry, in my anxiety, in the past and the future, that my body would bypass the most basic, pre-written, given process, which is breathing.
Yeah.
And I'd be sitting there dying, not breathing, holding my breath.
Literally.
Yeah.
Wow.
So wrapped up in my head that my body cannot do the thing that it is electronically programmed to do
your brain
involuntarily until your body goes and takes a deep breath. And it wasn't until I sat and saw all these people doing it.
The return breath.
The return, like coming back to them, like a resurrection.
Yeah.
Like it's that moment in that movie where someone comes out of the water.
I was going to say, it's like, it feels like your brain, all the bandwidth for just basic function is being used up, right? And then you kind of take a moment to go, and you take a breath, and it brings you back to that center, that awareness.
And so that's all meditation is just practicing never losing control of that, which is just allowing the body to do what it wants to do anyway.
Breathing, man.
Without my
breathing
head getting in the way.
We're talking about this like authentic self, and this is very important to me. Like the one thing that makes me the most emotional probably in the world is when I see someone making sacrifices to be authentic. Like it's a challenge. They're doing the right thing. They're being themselves. They're met with pushback. So I've tried to live my life in this way where I'm like, I'm so authentic. I want to be very authentic. And that's why I'm confessing to things and try to be unflinchingly honest and everything. And so last night I was watching Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, which I love that movie. I was watching it with my 12-year-old. They wanted to watch it. And I was watching it and I was realizing, oh man, I've stolen so much from Steve Martin. It's like so many things from Steve Martin, like just like a homage, you could call it, but it's like these things that I've taken. And then I'm like thinking, oh, yeah, that everyone does that. That's homage or whatever. And then I started thinking about this thing with my beard. And this director he was asking me to shave, and I sent him pictures of me without my beard. And he immediately recanted. He was like, "No, the director requests that you keep the beard." And I was like, "Right, because my face looks weird." And
the director said, "Oh God, please, no.
He hasn't already shaved it, has he?
Do not let him shave."
And I was like, "Oh, it's okay. I still have it. I sent these because I knew you would do that." But I just had this moment of like, I got real exterior. I got really hyper aware of my presentation. The things that I have put in the world as this is me being authentically me. This is my, and just to sort of expound on what we're saying, like I found myself in this like almost like a downward spiral of like, who am I? Like, who am I? Bits of Steve Martin? Am I my beard? No one likes me. My face without my beard, but that's just hair. Like I went down this real. It seems like two incongruous things, but they kind of clash together in a way that last night I went to bed feeling like, who the fuck am I? And then I realized that like that, but that's okay. That's like you were talking about these moments. It's a constant growing, right? It's a constant evolution. I may not totally know who I am right now because I've been on this authenticity journey to get to here. This is new territory for me.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, I feel like that comfortable thing that I used to feel like that's who I am. Oh, this feels like the Tyler I know because this isn't the Tyler I know. It's a new version of me. And that for me is this active process of bringing it back to like, what'd you call it? The return breath of like, okay, I don't know who I am. And that's okay. I know my fundamentals. I know what I'm sort of built on. I know the things that were given to me. I know the things that were assigned to me. I know the things that I've quote unquote decided to be, but none of them are really making me more authentic or more myself than just admitting I'm just here and I don't totally know what that means.
Well, I think what Chris said when he said it's a moving target.
Yeah.
Ourselves.
That's
that
what I mean. It's
resonated
like,
with me for sure. Because it's like, no, of course. I
he
mean,
said it better.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean,
a little more concise.
Roll the tape back, actually. Let's hear it again. Let's hear it again. Feels like a moving target.
Can we get a score from the judges? Who said that better?
Well, no, but I brought that up to say that resonated with me because it was like, oh yeah, I mean, okay, it kind of is unknowable of who you actually are, completely. And, and even if we think we know ourselves, do we really? Are we still, what story are we telling ourselves about ourselves, right? And so I don't know.
If it's external, it probably can't be trusted or pinned down. But if it's if it's internal, if there's internal work, probably maybe the reason why you feel the way you feel versus the way we feel is that you just have a better grip on it. Like
that's certainly crossed
you know
my
what I
mind.
mean? Like if you are loyal and you are friendly and you are calm and you are like and whatever things you've identified that are values. Values that things that you value in yourself and in the people around you, and you are consistent in living up to those values. I mean, that's it. That's it for me.
Yeah.
I'm not great at it. I mean, like I said, I came in with the self-pity and patience, and I want to be those things.
Yeah, no, I always find myself falling short of my values, right? And that's a lot of what our confessions are of like, well, I my values are I am a parent who always is present and wants to, but here's my confession. I'm not present.
We've built in a confessional, which is really funny to me that we get to come here and sort of like absolve ourselves of these things that we call shortcomings.
But it's okay because it's not the fact. It's not about you, or it's not about me always being present, or it's not about me, always being confident. It's about me recognizing that I am not always those things. And because all of these things in the program, they call them defects, right? Which is a term that a lot of people push back against.
I call them my factory settings.
Right. Defects are actually normal human emotions, right? Everyone feels anger. Everyone feels jealousy. Everyone feels envy. Everyone feels greed. I mean, the 7 deadly sins, quote unquote, are, pretty good gauge of like where most people feel these things. The difference is they become defective when you allow any of those things to lead you to mistreat yourself or someone else, right? And if I can avoid doing that, then it's okay to just have those feelings. That was the problem, is I would have all those feelings and I would lead to all this destruction in my life, and I would hurt people around me, and I would hurt myself, and that would lead me to more pain and more hurt and more pain and more hurt. But if I just can recognize those feelings, then that's the work. I mean, that's my growing edge, right?
Yeah.
Did you get sober in your marriage? Like, you did. So you were already with your wife, and you guys were, oh wow, that's like I just couldn't make it.
Oh, buddy. I mean, we barely made it. And it's still a lot of work.
Right.
Because there was a lot of inauthenticity.
And that's just baked into the cake at a certain point. Have you been together for a long time?
Yeah, we moved since 06, 07.
Okay. Yeah, long time.
Married in 2010, and we were inauthentic with each other. When we first met. And then we got authentic, we got real, we got honest. But also while that was happening, we became different people. Yeah. So we have to get to know those people. Yeah. And and then there's kids and you focus all your energy and your serotonin on them, and they're giving you serotonin, and you think, oh, everybody feels pretty good, right? And then you look over at your partner, you're like, oh wait, we're not sending any this way.
No juice here.
Yeah, no juice here. So that's just part of the work. And that's part of the recognition.
Good for you for getting to that place with the work, man. It was beyond me at the point in my sobriety. And I don't want to blame it all on sobriety, because I don't want to get all into just sobriety here, but like the idea that I hate to put it this way, but could have maybe made it through the marriage and saved things if I had have been a little further along on the program, has certainly not eluded me, like if I had hung in there a little bit and understood more about myself. But then there's that thing, I mean, it's like, but I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have done the work if I stayed in that relationship. I know I wouldn't have, and my ex agrees with me. So it was like a necessary breaking of everything, it was like a necessary sort of destruction.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was really hard, but I sometimes sit here and go like, well, maybe.
But unnecessary says who?
No, that's what I mean. Like, necessary, unnecessary.
Yeah.
But it felt for me, I had to break it all.
Yeah.
Break it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
In order to get to the place where I feel like I can actually function as a human being now and be happy and
And everybody has something that stands in their way.
Yeah.
Whether it's, even if it doesn't cause a crash, even if it doesn't cause destruction, even if it doesn't cause a fall, food, social media, our phones, or whatever it is, there's something that is challenging for everybody.
Yeah.
And it may never ruin your life,
but it's there.
But it's there, and if you ignore it long enough,
yeah,
maybe you get to the end of your life and you never have to worry about it. But it's like,
I doubt it. Life is fine.
But that's the there's a second half of life for everybody, and you enter it through great pain.
Yeah,
those people who don't enter the second half of life, they just get older.
Yeah,
they don't become an elder.
Yeah, the stagnation is just not an option for me.
And that's what the deathbed, those moments on people's deathbeds where they like have to confess everything, or they have a realization, or they have a like, oh wait, I understand.
Right.
Exactly. They've entered the second half.
What a shame.
And they had it for 60 seconds.
60 seconds of clarity.
Hey,
it's more than some people get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To embrace the fall, and like really turn towards it. Turn into the wind.
Well, that's all there is at a certain point.
Is hard to do.
Yeah.
And
I think they call that wisdom.
Yeah.
I think that's gathering wisdom anyway,
Yeah. There's the best way I've heard it put is you cannot have wisdom. You can only be wise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Because it's individual.
Well, and also you don't know you have it when you have it.
And it's for you.
Yeah.
It may be for somebody else. It might not. It may be for somebody else 10 years from now, but not in this moment. You know? So
not every pearl of wisdom has to be dropped on the younger folk. Not every moment is a teachable moment.
Thank you for that. I mean, I think
that was one of those hours that just went.
Yeah, we want to end the show with some gratitude. And Chris Sullivan, thank you so much.
For being here, man.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's nice talking to you.
You strike me as having wisdom. You're not a wise man.
I have moments. I have moments.
Chris, do you have any upcoming work or anything you want to plug?
Yeah, we've got the That Was Us podcast. Myself, Mandy Moore, Sterling K. Brown, doing a rewatch of This Is Us. We've just started season 4, but all of those episodes are available on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts. January, there's going to be a premiere of a TV show called Devil in Disguise.
Dude, I can't wait. Cannot wait, man.
Starring Michael Chernus, who is one of the great actors of our time.
We're trying. He's agreed to come on here too.
He's agreed.
We have to wait till he's
great,
free. Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah,
he's incredible. Next year, I have a film called Mercy coming out with Chris Pratt. That was Presence.
Oh, that was Presence. Oh, I want to see that really bad, by the way. That looks fucking cool.
Yeah. So a few things working. Things seem to be picking back up.
Well, we had some things we wanted to talk about. They are. I'm going off to shoot a movie, but you paid your dues as a struggling actor coming up, and then there's been this collapse and contraction of the industry, and a lot of people are struggling.
Yeah.
And I like seeing guys like you who are like having these big pop off moments now, even in the struggle of it all, because you struggled a lot earlier.
Didn't seem so long in the theater. I would have stayed doing theater. I still would do theater for the rest of my life.
Half of the crew wanted to talk about Hadestown, but we didn't get to that.
Yeah, we were gonna. I gotta at least ask. Can you say your part of "Wait for Me"? So even if we can get a line from you, we have the. Hold on, we have it on.
That's a big ask, man.
Do you have the line? Well, no, it's interesting because this was the last theater thing I did before This Is Us.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I got sober in the middle of this production.
This is an important production for you.
So talk about Orpheus and Eurydice, this flight of fancy artist who is not paying enough attention to his partner, and his partner ends up in hell, and he has to go into hell to find her. And then he has to sing so beautifully that he can pull her from hell. Mm-hmm. And as the myth goes, he's unsuccessful.
He looks back.
Yeah. So everything is falling apart while I'm doing this show every night. Everything is falling apart.
That's heavy duty, man.
And I'm losing weight, and I'm walking home every night from the Lower East Side to the Upper West Side,
that's a
meditating,
trek, man.
Wow. Like 2 meetings a day. Like this show meant the world to me. And I mean, perfectly, you got a lonesome road to walk, and it ain't along the railroad track. It ain't along the blacktop tar. You've walked 100 miles before. And it's just, it's always a lonesome road if you want to, I mean, it's for all of us. There's a moment where if you're searching for that authenticity in yourself and you know it's not there, unfortunately, I mean, there's a lot of help out there and there's a lot of methods, there's a lot of roads, but they all can be pretty lonesome.
Yeah. You do it yourself.
But yeah, it's a really special show for me.
Right on, man.
Thank you for doing that.
Special episode of I
absolutely.
Love You So Much.
And thank you, of course, to everyone on the crew here. Thank you, All Things Comedy, for letting us use their studio today. Yeah. And thank you to everyone out there who's watching and listening, and our patrons, especially Jonathan Newman and Jason. There are top tier love bugs on our Patreon, so get in there, patreon.com/ILYSM pod. Tyler, thank you, my friend.
Love you, buddy. We're going up high.
So much.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Love you so much, man.